Good morning and g'day mate, welcome back to Dyson Sphere with me, Jetty, and of course we have the wonderful Mr. Icarus, and today we're starting off beside our engine build because we're doing the next level of engines. We're doing the electromagnetic turbine, which still looks like an engine to me, but sure, we'll call it a turbine. Okay, so previous episode we made this lovely black box build here, and if we check our blueprints, we can see that it outputs 60 electric motors per second from magnets, copper, iron, blah 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 blah. If we go in here and we look at this, we can see for every 2 electric motors, we're going to get 1 electromagnetic turbine. Which means if I have 2 belts, 60 items per second here, it means I can make, well, 30 items per second of the electromagnetic turbines. Which is good, because they're used in heaps of crap. Heaps and heaps of crap. They're used in the particle broadbands, which of course gets us up to green sites. Also used in the conveyor belt Mark II. Also used in the reinforced thrusters, which we're using for the big shippies. Also used in good old sort of Mark III. So we need a lot of them. So, with that out of the way, we're going to start with just a tower. Well, sure. Yeah, I don't see why not. Okay, now this is going to be a little bit tricky. So we need to have those output. We need to bring the electric motors in, 2 belts worth, that's 60 items per second. Plus we also need to, look at the recipe, we also need to make another 2 belts worth of the magnetic coil. Which means I need to bring in, obviously, magnets and copper to make magnetic coils, but it actually, and warpers of course, but it actually means that I'd need to bring in 2 belts of electric motors plus 2 belts worth of magnets, being 100, we're now 60 items per second, that's 120, our tower's capped out, and then I need to bring in another 30 items per second. So, we need to make, in a separate tower, the magnetic coils. So with that bit of planning out of the way, we're going to start with some bare basics. I'm thinking output motors. I'm thinking we really need to rub some foundation on the floor. That one, in that one, I believe. Yeah, that matches. Okay. Of course, foundation. Foundation, the most important thing. Start off the episode. Just clear out some area to build in. And now the devs have added the lovely production stats. I can now press this button and go to here and see that actually no, performance is not too bad. 77 UPS. Turn on the graphics settings so you get a real time for this. It drops an awful lot. If we turn that off, and we actually turn that off, it gets even faster. So we haven't capped out my poor computer yet. Okay, so that's going to be motors. That's also going to be motors. And then it's a 1-to-1, is it not? So for every motor we bring in, we're also going to have to bring in a magnetic coil. So in that case, we're just going to have no, let's move you down a tile. 1 building there, you're going to be doing those things. You're going to need an output belt, which we shall plan to put right here. And this should be a relatively easy build. So it should be input, output. And we're going to need 40 machines all up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring that down a tile. And then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that'll be one of those down to there. That'll be one of those up to there. We should be able to grab that assembler, drag it down 10 as well, because we're going to need 40 of these all up. So the build's actually quite compact and small, all things considered. Okay, we need to bring that up. We need 1, 2, 3. That belt, no. In there. That belt down to there. that belt up to there. So you should be... What? Copy. Oh, rotate you around. Ah, there we go. Okay, that should go to there, and then that should go to there. Okay, so then the only thing we need is we need magnetic coils down here. And they need to feed into... Okay, that belt needs to go away, that needs to go away. That needs to go away, and that needs to go away. So it needs to feed into this belt, and this belt, and this belt. So, what I'm thinking is if we bring that in there, and that in there, we do have, conveniently, right here, a small build that makes 2 belts worth of coils per second, which is exactly what we need. And I should be able to squeeze that. Probably not there. Probably there. So this little build does 2 belts of coils out, and then gives us 2 belts worth of 2 belts worth of magnets out, 1 belt worth of copper out, and then gives us 2 belts worth of magnetic coils. Helps if I actually give you guys shippies. You don't have power yet, but that's a separate thing. I don't really want to use a splitter. Yeah, I don't want to use a splitter. Can we get this all on 1 belt? Yes. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We'll just use the delete all button and remove everything. And then we're going to put that there. Run that up to there. Run the output into there. Run the other output for engines down to there. And that should work perfectly, right? Yes. Okay. So, we need input. Then we get this junk. So that's input, output, input, output, input. No, we learnt from last time that due to power pole placement, you probably want to be on the right-hand side. Same applies to you. No, right-hand side, not middle. Right. Okay. So, we should be able to drag you back up 10. You back up 10. And then basically repeat the process on this side. So, we want an assembler. We want that to be the return belt, which is going to go into there. That to be the input for coils, which is going to go to there. And then the other one's an output from this end. Yeah, here's number 2. That goes to there. Put you there. We want a sorter on the outside, a sorter on the outside, and then your output, input, input. I don't know if I got that one ran the right way. Okay, sure. All right, so then we drag that up to there, and we drag that up to there. If we apply some power poles carefully, so I want to get 1 power. Ooh. Okay. If I put a power pole there, it powers lots of things, but it doesn't power the actual station itself. So let's start at this end. Does that power everything in this little area? It does. Okay. And then that should power everything in that little area. And there, and there. And then there. And there. So I end up at the same spot anyway. So then we'll put 1 power pole there, right in the middle. We should... No, hang on. You're not powered. power pole there. And one power pole there. Okay, so with that done, it should be local demand. We need to max that. We need to min that. We need to max that. We need to put those in and those in. We need to set you to 100 local demand. Remote storage. You don't work. Really? Okay, fine. Well, I'll just put a power pole there. And we'll put a power pole there. Yep, they get power from... So the tower gets power from these two poles, which is perfect. Remove that little bit of excess belt, and that little bit of excess belt, and that bit of excess, and we're good to go. You're set correctly. You're importing, exporting, doing all the things. You're importing, exporting, doing all the things. All the turbines are instantly disappearing because, well, it turns out that our hub, which is now to our right, here has no electromagnetic turbines, which means it has no sorters available to us. No, conveyor belts need the next level of engine up, which is good because that level of engine is a pain in the bum and everybody asks me what's a good way to build them. Can I squish this in a little bit? Okay, let's remove you, and you. Ideally, I'd like you there. So where the copper belt comes down, the magnet belt comes down. Oh, and the output belt. The output belt would... Let's move the power poles at the same time. Power pole goes there, and... Oh, power poles are also going to slide down the build. Okay. Yeah, trying to narrow out the build slightly. Okay, so let's do... belt. Belt goes into there. Copy that. Remove that. No, I want to rearrange the sorters as well. Okay, so let's go in, out, which now means you can go in, out. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, not quite, because the whole build needs to be slightly longer. There, and there we go. Yeah, that'll be the cutoff. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then we had a power pole in here. Yes. Okay, so now I just need to do the same on the other side. So we need to remove you, and you. We would need to bring this straight down and out one extra tile. You straight down to there. And you into there. Let's just remove all the things. So it should be a case of... That's not going to work. Okay, so it should be a case of you get put there. You should be a in, out. You should be put there. You should be a in, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a power pole gets snugged in... Where are they? Oh. Oh, power doesn't jump from tower to tower anymore. Oh, okay. So, you need to go there. Can we put a power pole here? And here? Talk about maximizing every tile. Yes, okay. Alright, that's a bit better. It just squeezes everything in slightly. Can you actually have my copper? Thank you. And can you have those too? And can... Nope. You can have those. And you can have those. And You can have those. Cool. Now I don't have crap in my inventory. Alright. So this is going to import 2 belts worth of electric motors and then output 1 belt worth of electromagnetic turbines. Which means this build, as we can see, is kicking into full gear. The only ones that are not running are the very end ones, which aren't getting any coils. And the belt of coils is full. So this is a thing with Dyson Sphere. And we're going to start at the coil belt. So we can see that this one has 16 in the machine. This has 0. This one is having an issue trying to... It's waiting to unload. It's waiting to unload. It's waiting to unload. It's waiting to unload. It can't get items on the belt fast enough. And we can see that there are gaps on that belt occasionally. Okay? And it's just how Dyson Sphere runs. If there's not enough room for an item to be put on the belt, it won't get put on the belt. It also means we have a lack of material at this end. So this guy does not have magnetic coils because even though, in theory, we're putting out 30 items per second, we're not actually putting out 30 items per second. We're putting out 29.9.8. Yeah. So something you need to keep in mind. Trying to get those pristine numbers is very, very, very difficult. The only way to do it, and it's something that happens in a lot of these factory style games, these logistic style games, the only way to do it is have... You're the last one. So have you output separately to here, let's say. And that way you can dump the excess here. And that way when there is room on the belt, but it has to be a whole room, not a half room, it can have the excess slide in. Okay? But as you can see, like, I'm still getting situations where I have gaps on the belt. I'm hoping this shows up for you guys. You're like, I'm looking at the game at 60 FPS, but I know YouTube does some compressions. Occasionally you don't see it. Occasionally you see the belts that sort of look like they're running backward because, yeah, frame rate. But yes, there's still room and gaps on the belt. And it's just something that these games, generally they end up fixing in later optimization passes, but obviously the Dyson Sphere devs haven't really got there yet. So, anyway, back to our story. We're now producing a belt, 30 items per second here. Can I get rid of those again? Awesome. So, we're now producing 30 of the electromagnetic turbines. I don't want to look at that one. I want to look at that one, local planet. That's the item I want to look at. I want to change that to 1 minute. There we go. So 1786 per minute. So we're just not quite there, but we're in theory there, just not quite. Okay. So we have 1 belt per second. Now, the next thing we want to look at, because obviously now we have the electromagnetic turbines, which by the way, we probably should just blueprint really quickly. Okay, turbines. This is more notes to myself. You guys will get pretty blueprints with pretty descriptions. 30 turbines per... Cool, caps lock's on. Second from 60 engines and it's 60 magnets, right? I've been starting to put in the raw costs. So it's 60 magnets and and 30 copper per second. So as always, if you want to grab this blueprint or the next blueprint or any of these blueprints, they've all these ones have already been published. We are working on new ones every episode, or new 2 or 3 every episode. So if you want to grab these blueprints, they are available in my Discord. Link is always down in the description. If you like blueprints at the same time, can you do me a favor? Can you click the like button on the video? Very, 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 very much appreciate. You really want to go the above and the beyond. When you go over to Discord, like throw an emote, throw a reaction on the Discord post. For all my blueprints, they are in a pretty room marked blueprints, so they're very, very hard to miss. So, with electromagnetic turbines done, the next one is supermagnetic rings, because they're they're popular. Let's go with popular. They're also an absolute pain in the butt to make. I've always hated making these things myself personally because they are such a drag, because you have to go through so many steps to get to these things. Now, the electromagnetic turbines, as I said, they're used in a number of things. The supermagnetic rings, even though it's not on our way to green science, the gravity matrix, it's not on our quest path, we're making a side trip because it's used in a bunch of buildings, okay? Also used in the deuterium fuel rods. In fact, actually, let's go buildings really quickly. So, supermagnetic rings are used in, of course, the miniature particle collider. They're used in the fusion power plant. They're used in, there they are, the EM rail ejector, the vertical launching silo, also the ray receiver. So they're used in a bunch of buildings. And they are super, super late tech, so, you know, you sort of, oh, and they're also used in, belts, supermagnetic rings in belts, and of course, these ones needed the electromagnetic turbines. Yes. So, to make the supermagnetic rings, we already have here, we have 30 items per second for the electromagnetic turbines. So, I figure we might as well convert that into, well, we need 2, so we go from 30 items per second down to 15 items per second. Or we could double it. We could, you know, just assume that if you want to run at full speed, you need to put down 2 of these builds, which means you need to put down 2 of these builds, which is not that hard to do. So we might make a double build. But we need, for every supermagnetic ring, we're going to need to bring in 2 electromagnetic turbines, plus we're going to need to bring in 3 magnets, plus we need to bring in 1 energetic graphite. It's the ice, yes, it's the graphite. Okay, so we're going to start with, obviously, another tower. Here'll do. We're going to set this up, so to make those, we need to bring in that, plus we need to bring in that, plus we need to bring in that, plus we need to bring in those. Now, I need to double check my map. I'm not going to turn you on. I'm not going to turn you on just yet. Okay, we need that, we need that, we need that. We need that. Okay. So, to do these, to make... No, we can't do 30 per second from one tower, because to make 30 per second, we'd need to bring in 90 magnets per second, plus 30 graphite per second, plus, so that's already 120, plus another 60 of the turbines. So, the best we could hope for is a half belt. But a half belt is very doable. Yeah, because we'd half all those numbers. So rather than having 3, 4, 5, 6 belts, we'd be doing 3 belts. 3 belts is manageable. Okay, so 3 belts is manageable. It means we'd need 30 assemblers. Hopefully I can get 30 assemblers to divide a nice, neat way. 30 is 15. If we divide it again, it's going to be 7. Can we get 3 rows of 10? 3 rows of 10, 5 rows of 6 rows of 5. 6 rows of 5 is way too wide. So we're going to go with 3 rows of 10. And of course, you really want that centered around the tower. Alright, 3 rows of 10. 3 rows of 10 is going to need... It's going to need... It's not going to max out any belt. It's going to need half a belt of magnets. And that's like, you know, a third of a belt? A third of a belt. A third of a belt of the turbines and a sixth of the belt of graphene. Okay, so that sort of simplifies the maths a little bit. Alright, so let's just start... Well, obviously to center it, we'd have to start centered. Now, in saying that, you're going to need... Actually, let's just build the build first, then we'll worry about centering things afterwards. Okay. Yeah, we'll worry about centering it afterwards. Okay, so you're going to output... let's do magnets. Because we're at half a belt of magnets. So I can share a magnet belt without an issue. Also share a return belt. Let's do a return belt as well. Okay, so then we need number 2 being the turbines, number 4 being the graphite, and then 1 there, and then 1 there, and you'll need a return belt on this side, and you'll need, you have a return belt, so you just need that item, which I'm instantly moving to there instead. Make that item. Plus, then you need that item. Oh, and you need magnets. Ah, okay. Alright, so that needs to go into that item. That needs to go back to that item. And I need to shift the tower over a tile. Okay, so hold down shift to pick up the tower. Click X to get rid of it. Put the tower back down, which should keep the filters and everything we've set in the tower already. So you're going to be an output, you're going to be an input. You were going to be turbines. Turbines are instead going to get moved to there. You were going to be number 4, so you're now going to be number 4. You can continue being a return, but you're going to have to be magnets. Okay, so now we have a very lopsided tower. But we have our belt, so we know what belt goes where. And all our filters are done. Okay, so pick up the tower again, get rid of it, and put it there. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, so you're going to be that item. No, you're going to be that item. You're going to be number 4. Oh, shit. Actually, aren't you meant to be magnets? I think that was meant to be magnets. You're going to be that item. You're going to be... You're now nothing. Did I boo-boo? Yeah, you... Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Okay, we have 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so we've got 8 belts straight up. So yeah, I boo-booed somewhere along the line. Okay. Magnets. So you have all 3 items, plus you have an output. You have 0. Oh, you've got 1 item. So that has to be that item. That has to be graphite. That has to be whatever that has to be return, and that has to be magnets. Yeah, I was really hoping that. Well, it's centered, but yeah, we're using an odd number of outputs and inputs. Can I? Hang on. I'm only producing half a belt's worth. I can get rid of that belt entire. No. I can get rid of that belt and take it down here and bring it across and plug it in there instead. There we go. And now you can be number 3. There we go. Okay, alright, so Where were we? We were doing import. That's easy. You're going to be a import. No, hang on. You're an export. Import. So that's an import. That's an import. You need magnets. Then you need an output. You need input. You need output. And therefore that's an in and that's an in. We need 30 machines total, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Grab that side, 10. Grab that side, 10. Grab the great belt shaver. And shave that, shave that, shave that. Take that and plug it in there. And that should be the whole build. Which now means, whenever you get to the point where you're like, I need more of those. Oh, crap. Do I really want to remove... Yeah, I want to remove one belt. Okay. That goes there. And that goes there. Okay, the things I do for one belt. Remove that, remove that. Remove that, and that. Okay, pick that up, then remove it, then slide it down. Then start here, hook that up, hook that up, hook that up. That's an input, hook that up, hook that up, and then hook that up. Okay. Ooh. Alright, so, as I was saying, next time you get to the point where you need to put down some supermagnetic rings, okay, rather than go, oh, really, I'm going to make that build again? You can just go, no, it's okay, it's okay. Oh, I've got Jetty's black box builds. We can just pop one of them down in a hurry and suddenly be producing 15 of those bad boys per second. If I get the power poles somewhere where I like them. Can I put a power pole there? Yep. And then, no, there. I'm going to need 2 power poles anyway. Okay, so that should be a power pole there, power pole there, power pole. Hang on. You can get moved all the way up to there and there. Oh, which means hopefully that one can come out and get moved there and ideally there, but that's not going to work. But it should go there and there. There we go. Okay, so then you just need to hook that to the main grid. We need to go ships and North Pole. Nope. That one. I need 100 of those. I need 400 of those. Where were we putting those ships in? Okay, so this should be a remote demand, local demand, remote demand, remote, local demand. Yes, all the demands. Okay. That already has a whole bunch of electromagnetic turbines in it already. So that should fill those 2 belts just about instantly. And the tower, the assemblers are preloading. So now it's just a matter of waiting for the magnets and the energetic graphene to come into stock. And then as soon as those 2 come into stock, we should be able to... What is it? It is belt. Here is our hub, which is struggling. No, it's filled up that chest full of belts. It's still making belts. Let's just... Oh, no, hang on. Shit, everything's here. Everything's here. Everything's producing. Now, this is set to not launch a drone until it gets to 100% full, so however much a drone can carry. So in theory, when that gets to 100, nothing happens. Why does nothing happen? Can you tell me we've actually got belt here again? Because last I looked, we were out of belts. We were using it faster than we could produce it. Belt. That box. Not quite full. Oh, we were waiting on the turbines to make green belts. Tier 2 belt. Well, now that's sorted. That's now sorted. So we should be cranking out the Tier 3 belt at 1,000 miles an hour. Okay, so with that done, no, I flew the wrong way. It's that direction. Yeah, we've almost built all the way around the planet. So with that done, we have in one episode completed two of the most horrible builds, at least as far as I'm concerned. My feelings are, we completed the good old electromagnetic turbine right here. Right here, this bad boy is going to produce a belt's worth of electromagnetic turbines per second, 60 per second. And then we did one better. We went and made the supermagnetic rings at 15 items per second. So only it's half a belt's worth. But look, if you want to have a full belt's worth, you just come here and you go copy, and then you go paste. Have to go a little bit further away. Probably about that far away. Yeah, like that. And I'm so cancelling that before it gets built. But in saying that, like, it doesn't take long to get built. That's it. It's done. Sure, you'd have to double all the production lines leading up to this, which means, you know, open those blueprints again and go back in here and go, okay, so to double the supermagnetic rings, I'd have to put down a set of turbines. I'd also have to put down another set of electric motors, and then we'd be done. So, with all that said, nope. Okay, north view, copy. With all that said and done, as I said before, you can grab these blueprints in Discord. If you want to grab your very own super magnets blueprint and get 15 super magnets per second, you can now do so, because as I said, all these blueprints are available in my Discord if you want to go grab them. If you want to go grab them there. But I'm going to call this episode here. We're going to actually finish early because the next project is going to be F for freaking handcrafting, and show me the freaking crafting menu. The next project is the particle container, which is going to be an absolute giant nightmare, I have a feeling, because we need to bring in the turbines, which we just did, plus we need to bring in the copper, plus we need to bring in not graphene but fire ice, plus we have the particle containers themselves, and then we have the waste product of hydrogen, and then we need warpers. So that's 6 items, one tower that supports 5 items. That's going to be an interesting episode, which will be tomorrow's episode. So with all that said and done, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed, and as always, tell your mum, Jetty, and Icarus, good old Icarus. Icarus said, g'day, mate. Alright, that's it. We're out. Bye.